Hello, everyone. My name is Olzhas, and I will present in English because I think, like, from terminology-wise, it's a little bit more convenient for me. And yeah, today I'm just going to talk about the career track for software engineers in the AI era as well. And I want to spend like some time for a Q&A session more, just to I think there's a lot of questions about career paths for you, especially for students in big tech companies. So I would love to answer the questions as well. Yeah, about myself, I'm a software engineer in YouTube, working on the content safety. So like my team is responsible for making sure that the YouTube has the platform like without volatility videos or like comments and stuff. So we do use like ML infrastructure and also infrastructure for manual reviews for like misinformation or like political stuff. So yeah, that's the team that I work on. And I work in the Bay Area in Silicon Valley in Mountain View office. Prior experience, I'm SYE at PayPal in FinTech, working on the business side, like business applications for PayPal, and startup Arcom, also based in San Francisco. My stack is mostly back-end engineering, but I also had like a full stack and front-end, so that's pretty much it. I'm a member of Digital Nomads, which is the organization for people who are working in companies abroad. And also I have my mentorship program where I consult and help students and full-timers for the interview process and like resume consulting as well. So yeah, feel free to reach out to me with any questions. A little bit about the AI. This is the presentation for Digital Breach, and yeah, I'm just going to a little bit expand about this as well. As Stanford professor Andrew and mentioned, the AI is we can say it's a collection of tools. And you heard about AI and all this hype around it. And I just wanted to talk briefly what is it and what does it consist of and what are the key jobs and new roles opening in big tech companies as well. So hopefully it's going to be helpful. So the artificial intelligence is a collection of tools which being the subset of technologies that are in together, they bring the value and the challenge in the market. We have the machine learning, deep learning, NLP, which in combination make also the latest trend, which is the LLM, the large language models, and Gen AI. So let me see. Yeah, the basic example of that is the labeling. The labeling when we demark the data that we have, creating the data sets, where by that providing the input, the data, we can also by running our models, we can distinguish what kind of output do we expect. Based on that, the very basic example would be the restaurant or cafeteria's reviews, where based on the reviews, we can also label the inputs if it's positive or negative review. By creating these models, this is where the LLM or Gen AI is based off on the labeling, data labeling. And when we talked about the Gen AI, is the next slide? Yeah, the supervised learning. This decade is the Gen AI is definitely the trend, where especially with the ChatGPT and BARD releases last year, we saw the potential of this area. The generating the text, human text in almost any language, also in the coding languages as well, for any kind of topic. So it's pretty big sphere in general. And the way it works is based on the supervised learning, where the inputs is provided by the text and outputs is basically the next word that the model is going to propose you. And the reason they are called the large language models because their models are run by very big resources. And if you train the model with a lot of parameters, it will basically have this capability of the Gen AI. Yeah, like one of the examples that's pretty useful for day-to-day practices is the Gen AI in the IDs. You probably saw the examples where the code basically tells you what kind of suggestions to make to you, and this is what I use pretty much every day as well. It's definitely highly growing industry. Some numbers, the AI market was valued $400 billion last year, and it's projected to basically 6x in 10 years, which is going to be $2 trillion. So we can definitely see the grow by 120% year over year. And the industries is because, as I mentioned, it's basically the very significant area. This industry use cases can be covered in manufacturing, retail, healthcare, travel, financial services, and energy, feedstock, and utilities. Examples to explain you how close we are to the AI. It's we basically use all these tools for studying and for in-job as well. The AI is integrated basically everywhere in Google. We can see and feel that in Gmail, YouTube, the recommendation systems, the Google Ads, the maps for the logistics, efficiency optimizations, and the assistants as well. One of the examples is the doc that basically generates you the text based on your input, also used by Gen AI. The state of the industry as of now, actually, this is the statistics from the last year. We have a lot of developers, software engineers, back-end, front-end developers, and there's a definitely area where we saw this trend 6x, and we need to build the expertise. And we have 21 million developers, and as you can see, it's less than 1 million data scientists, and even less the AI researchers and deep learning researchers as well. So if we compare the trend of the AI is growing the market, we can see that we definitely need the people who build the expertise in this area, it's going to be always the challenges and work to do. So this is one of the advices that I would give you. How to adapt? So we do see lately the new industries and job positions being introduced in the market. The robotics engineering, machine learning, AI research, which is more the paper or PhD track, data science and product management. You're probably familiar with all of these sections. The product management is something pretty interesting because people who don't have the engineering background but still want to be involved in the building the AI products, this is pretty cool track. And I personally see a lot of trend and growing opportunities in the product management as well. This is the collaboration between the engineering and also the scaling the product to the users. Talking about how the adaptation is there's the new jobs and opportunities are being generated and created. The AI startups is something that's lately, being in the Silicon Valley, I can see that the investors, VCs, hedge funds, they prefer the startups with the AI background more than the traditional startups. So right now, if you want to get funded by big VCs, you definitely need to use the word AI in your product. That's pretty cool. Build a skill set and portfolios. And as I mentioned, in the future, even for the backend engineers and front-end engineers, the AI is still a crucial part of the process because we face it with day-to-day, and there's a lot of tools that will can be enhanced by AI for the existing projects and products. I am probably gonna skip. I think we talked about this in the earlier slides, the resources and skills. I'm just going to mention the next page instead, the for like integrating as a full stack and back engineers, we do have a lot of APIs and tools coming from the Google Cloud, like Palm API is covered there, TensorFlow. The OpenAI has a lot of APIs to play around and even integrate the products with. And yeah, one of the bigger providers is also the Microsoft Azure Cognitive Services. They do like a lot of like model running. They also provide you with the resources, the cloud systems. So there's a lot of technologies and tools that can help you to start your journey in ML. And yeah, the open source APIs as well. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the presentation. I just wanted to spend like a little more time on the Q&A session. And you can reach out to me in email or Telegram listed below. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you for the presentation. Is it hard to become a digital nomad?
That's a good question. It's not hard. We do have a lot of projects, like community contributions, basically like in every field. For example, one of the bigger ones are the ICPC, and I think they're doing a lot of progress over there. So if you're interested in like helping out Kazakhstan to be like the place where the like ICPC teams are coming from, and also like the next year the final is going to be in Astana as well. That's like also one of the tracks. Another one is we have the Women in Tech, and also we do have the Kazakh language like for LLMs. So there's a lot of entry points. It depends like how eager you are to contribute in, and there are like people who can help you to start with. Usually the digital nomads are people who are like work abroad, but it's like not the hard requirement. You can also help out from here as well.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, just thank you for such a fascinating info session.
Mm-hmm.
I just have one question. I think most of students are curious about internships in Google, because I think that Google staff was like open their application procedure like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So just any recommendations how to get your first internship in Google, because I think that solving legal questions isn't enough.
That's a good point. I think the hardest part for the internships is to get spotted by recruiters, because there's a lot of like students who apply. So definitely it's pretty competitive. In general, my suggestion is to build the networking with those people. I think Google also does a lot of like the markets or like the sessions where you can get some consultations from HRs as well, right? So usually the way that I see it, like it doesn't work that you just like find a referral, apply with your resume, and like hope that you will get like spotted. It's definitely like the effort from your side. So there's like a lot of ways to contact or like get in touch with recruiters who are responsible for internships. Like the interview process, I don't think the question is more about the interview, but it's more about like how to get the internship, right? Like how to get spotted, basically. So one of the things I would recommend is definitely like keep working on your resume. It should be like you probably like a lot of know that there's like a pretty good template how to do the CV. Should be like one page, should highlight all your skills instead of like introduction about yourself and stuff. The challenging part is to, as I mentioned, like get spotted by the recruiters. And a lot of like events, like hiring events, job fairs can help you with that. Google does it sometimes, I believe, and track the positions, because given your situation, like wherever you are, I think it's best to evaluate your chances. For example, getting internship in Europe, which is the closest region to Kazakhstan that Google has the internships for. US has like a visa stuff, which could be pretty challenging as well. So yeah, that's like my recommendation. If you have like a specific questions, I can answer that as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And one last question.
So could you please tell me how to add more numbers to your CV? Like how to measure the contribution of the codes which individual have written? Like since numbers plays kind of significant role when it comes to applying to big tech companies.
Mm-hmm. Can you say it again, like the contributions to what? I missed that.
So, for example, open source projects or when you are working in a specific company or startup?
So it depends. Like if you don't have a lot of experience, I would recommend focusing on the side projects. And the side project can be anything. And as you mentioned, like the numbers is definitely the key metric to represent in your CV. A lot of people like keep saying, I developed this API, and that's pretty much it. But like Google really values the impact that you made. And impact can be measured usually in metric, in numbers. So it's like using the keywords like I improved the system latency from this to this. It definitely gives the clear idea what you did, and explaining like how you did it, like what kind of technologies you implement or what kind of algorithm you used to do this. I think in that, like you basically want to highlight in a very short sentence what you did, how you did, and what did you achieve. So if you keep answering this question in your CV, that will basically like clarify like what your impact in your role. But definitely like avoid the general words. Like I did this, that's pretty much it, or like I use this technology. That doesn't like give anything, any context.
So how to specifically measure? I mean, in measures, for example, when measuring in percentages or something like that?
Measuring what?
In percentages, for example.
That like
When you have optimized specific feature or something like that.
well, it depends like what kind of metric you're talking about. Like there could be the user metric, right? For example, you launched a feature that allowed the product to increase from like 2,000 users to like 10,000 users. That's like a lot of like the Google app metric can show you. Or if you worked on something like infrastructure, right? And usually when we talk about the infrastructure, we have the metric like latency or optimizations, right? Those can be tracked by internal, like for example, I would assume that your product or your project has the monitoring stuff. So you can say you can measure the latency by like running the app on like a couple times and by like using the monitoring like features and engine. So does this answer your question? Or?
Yeah, I see. I have another one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So could you please indicate the extent, I mean, point out the extent to which unique projects gave you advantages to you in comparison with popular projects? For example, TikTok.
Do you mean like what kind of projects?
When it comes to applying again to big tech companies, for example, I have built one project which solves one specific problem. And could you please say the extent to which that one project is better than the other popular projects which everyone builds?
I would definitely recommend choosing the like your own project, maybe like your own idea that you wanna implement, rather than just working like very generic applications that just like people do for the like CV. Because if you do that, you can also like basically like list out the features that you implemented, and more the features and ideas are unique, it means that you implement by yourself, right? Because the area is not very popular as the others, and you have to do some research, and you have to come up with like very creative solutions as well. So yeah, I would definitely recommend doing that instead of like just picking up like the top 10 like side projects or something like that. If you do have an idea, I would encourage you to work on that first. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Olzhas, for such an insightful presentation.
Thank you.
So, guys, let's appreciate the work and the here. So,
Thank you.
Let's invite the next Google Developers expert, Dr.